welcome everyone to Rate Your Pain 1 to 10. Today I'll be giving some secret little tips and tricks of the trade, if you will, that makes living with RSD, CRPS, and disability life a little bit easier. You know, there's things that we have to deal with that you normally wouldn't, and sometimes there's little tricks that you don't know of that might make that a little bit easier for you. Some of these tips you may already know, and those tips might just be geared more towards the people that are newer to RSD or disability. So, you know, don't knock me if some of them seem a little obvious. Before we get started, I have a couple of announcements. Today, we officially surpassed 200 subscribers. And technically today is January 25th, but I probably won't release this video till roughly the 28th or 29th, just because I won't be able to get to editing and all that. But I'm very excited, and thank you guys for that. Right along with that accomplishment, we have surpassed 5,000 views as of last week, I believe. So, you know, this channel's growing, and I'm very thankful for all of you who have helped me grow with this channel, and I just can't wait for the future. So all of you who are part of those numbers, thank you, thank you, thank you. And if you're not a part of that 200, please remember to subscribe and hit that notification bell and click all so that you're notified on all my upcoming videos that I release. Alright, for my first tip, we're just going to jump right into my favorite one. Do any of you have a prescription that comes in the form of a patch? And does that patch ever give you an irritation or even blister up? Well, that's because you're having an allergic reaction and a histamine release. A good fix for this is something that my doctor one day told me about when I was complaining to him, telling him I'm done with the patches, no more. You know, I just couldn't take it. I had red spots and blisters all over my body because you have to pick a new location each time. Well, he told me to go to the drugstore, and it's over the counter. You just simply buy a little bottle of Flonase. And Flonase is an antihistamine nasal spray. So he said to spray it on the location where you're going to put the new patch, let it dry, and then put the patch on. Well, I did that, and I did notice some relief, however not enough. So what I did was I put 2 coats on. And the 2 coats actually really helped a lot. Now, it takes a little while to dry because the stuff is kind of almost like slimy. I mean, that's the best way I can describe it. I know it sounds gross, but it's not gross. It's a weird consistency, and it takes a while to dry. So if you have a blow dryer, I found that really helps. You know, don't hold it right on your skin because you might burn yourself, but it does help a lot. So definitely try that if you're having problems with your patches. Our next tip is for dry mouth. There's a lot of prescriptions out there that cause dry mouth, and if you're taking more than one that causes it, it can be very frustrating. Dry mouth can be pretty annoying and embarrassing, but even more so, it can be very damaging to your teeth and gums. I'm having to deal with this myself right now, and something I was told at my dentist's office is that saliva is very important. If you're dealing with this, a good solution is Biotene Dry Mouth Oral Rinse. This is actually something my doctor originally told me about, but my dentist agreed and said it was great that I was using it as well. You know, you don't want to be having to walk around all day with your mouth as dry as the Sahara, just begging for a pail of water, right? So get this Biotene Dry Mouth Oral Rinse, and you swish it around for about 30 seconds, and you're good for up to 4 hours. That's what it says on the bottle. That's not the relief I get. You know, it lasts a good while, but I can't say 4 hours. I have not experienced that. But it's, you know, depending on where you go, it's up to about $10 for a big size bottle, your typical mouthwash bottle. So try that if you guys are having problems with dry mouth. Oh yeah, they also make lozenges too if you're on the go. Stick a couple in your pocket and you'll be good while you're at work or school or whatever you have to go do. Alright, so this next one may seem obvious, but I feel that even if you do know this, it's good to remind you and just remind everybody of these two tips technically. Now, when you're disabled, a lot of us with RSD can't really go out and do things like we used to, so we spend most of our time at home. Well, our immune system isn't as good as it used to be. You know, it's not like when we used to go to work or school or just go out and about in the world because we were exposed to, millions and millions of different germs that we now are kind of just secluded to our own little environment in our home. So when we go out, we're taking chances of potentially getting sick or catching something. And when you go visit your doctor's office, you see those bottles of sanitizer everywhere, right? Well, use them. Grab a little squirt everywhere, every little thing you touch. If you touch the doorknob, take a squirt. Rub your hands. I feel it's very important because there's lots of germs around the doctor's office, right? There's a lot of sick people that go there. I mean, if you're going to a pain specialist, maybe not as much, but it's safe practice, and I really think it's something that people should remember to do. And along with that is bring your own pen. You have to always fill out paperwork when you go to the doctors. When you first get there, you have the clipboard and you got to sign all that, say what you're there for, and you go grab that pen out of that cup with the little flower on it. Well, how many people touch that? And if you're at an office where sick people do visit, guess what? They all touched it too, because everyone who goes through there touches those pens. So just think about that. This next tip I actually found last night on one of the CRPS Facebook group pages. Someone asked, does anyone get nauseous? Well, there were quite a few replies, but there was a few that stuck out to me. And one of the common medications I saw in there was Zofran. And a lot of people seem to agree with that one. So if you're looking for a medication maybe to help with that, ask your doctor about Zofran. However, if you're looking for a more natural remedy, Sarah Abernathy, she had a great alternative. However, she did agree with the Zofran as well. She recommended that you go to your local health food store and try getting a ginger beer. I have tried ginger beer in the past and I thought it tasted really good. I just don't ever really think about buying it. That's why I don't have it on stock or, have had it in a while. But that one I'm definitely going to have to try. I'm going to go get some and keep it on stock just for next time, I'm feeling a little woozy or uncomfortable, and I'll see how it goes. Thank you, Sarah Abernathy, for giving us that tip. This next tip can kind of go right along with our last one of nausea and having CRPS and being disabled and not being able to do much moving around or exercise is weight loss. I dealt with really bad weight loss in the beginning. In the first 6 months after my accident, I lost 50 pounds. I went down to 130, and it was embarrassing, and I just did not like, despite my leg problem already, I did not like how I looked physically. I just was embarrassed being that skinny. I'm not a big guy, but I don't like being a twig. So I found this may be obvious, but I found a good remedy, and that's protein shakes. Now, I personally like the protein powder. I don't know, maybe if it's just the brand that I would get, but I started drinking those protein shakes like crazy every day. And, it says water, but I would do it with milk just for that extra little boost. And I thought it was good. I liked them. They're tolerable. I mean, yeah, it's not, a great milkshake, but it's a protein shake, and it gives you protein, and it'll build you mass, which you're looking for, right? When you're getting that skinny and all that atrophy you're dealing with, I feel it's worth it to maybe have a little bit of a powdery taste. But if you guys don't like that, I do understand, and there are a couple alternatives. Now, I haven't tried Premier Protein, but I've heard good things about it. And, I feel I should go out and just buy one to try it anyway. But they have 30 grams per serving, per little bottle, I guess you can call it. And, 30 grams is a good amount. I'd say on average, that's a decent amount you want to have per protein shake. And another one that I have had that I really love, and I do have them on the regular, is Odwalla. Odwalla makes great drinks in general. All their juices and smoothies, they are amazing. I love them. They can be a little pricey, but they go on sale and you get them like 2 for $4, so they're $2 a pop. That's not that bad considering you're going to be getting your weight back if you have one per day. So those, on average come with like 32 grams. And like I said, they taste really good, especially the chocolate. Also, a little fun fact about Odwalla. Odwalla actually was originally founded in my hometown of Santa Cruz, California, back in 1980. So, that's kind of a proud little thing about my town. We have a bunch of fun little facts like that, but I won't go into that because that's not what this video is about. All right, our last tip for today. It's going to be on pharmacies. Now, let me give a disclaimer before I start this one. This tip is strictly for those who are having bad experiences with their pharmacy and they're just simply not happy and it's not improving, nothing's changing, even if their doctor's intervening and they're still having problems. This tip is for you guys. If you're happy with your pharmacy and everything's running smoothly and you have no complaints, then that's great. This tip, unfortunately, is not for you, but I welcome you to watch anyways. For the first couple years after my motorcycle accident, I dealt with a lot of problems with pharmacies, and I just had blatant discrimination, and I have doctors to back this up. This isn't my paranoia or me just thinking everyone's out to get me. I literally dealt with just the worst service and, like I said, a lot of discrimination because of my age and because of my looks, apparently. So because of this, I was just getting fed up and didn't know what else to do, and so I started asking around, talking to other people, and I had someone ask me, about the pharmacy I went to and which one it was, and I told them, and they said, well, why haven't you tried one of the local pharmacies? And I said, well, because they're small business, they probably don't have all the same wonderful things that the big chains have to offer. And, they said, well, you're not getting it anyway, are you? And I thought, well, oh yeah, you're right. I'm not getting any benefits or anything great like I thought I would get from a big corporate chain pharmacy. So I switched to our little local pharmacy here, a little mom and pop brick and mortar pharmacy, right? And it was amazing. It was like day and night change, and they were courteous to me. They were kind. They got to know me on a personal level very fast, and I really appreciated that. There's a lot of benefits to the local small mom and pop pharmacies that you don't get at the big corporate chains. You don't get looked at as just a number. You're actually a customer and you're a person with a name and a condition and a prescription that you need to pick up. And with my pharmacy, I can call down there and they know exactly who they're talking to. So, they don't have 24-hour holds on opioid pain prescriptions like you'll get at a Walgreens or something where they tell you, oh, you have to wait 24 hours. It's like, well, no, but I'm in pain now and my doctor wrote this for today. And again, like I'm saying, if any of you out there are going to a corporate chain and they're treating you good, then that's awesome. And I think that's great. And I hope that the other corporate chains will catch on and they'll become more like that. I'm not saying that they're all bad, but in my experience and in my town, they basically are. I can't speak for other towns, cities, states, you know what I mean? But you should try it. If you're having problems and you're going to that corporate one, trust me, there's no difference with insurance or any of that. You're going to have all the same safeguards, and you can get prescriptions ordered usually the next day if they don't have it in stock, where I've had other pharmacies tell me that it's not going to come until next week, and that just sounds absurd to me. My pharmacy always will be like, oh, we'll get it tomorrow. So, you know, I think that's a very important tip for you guys, and I know it's something a lot of you deal with, is a lot of discrimination because we have an invisible disease and we look fine. So I hope that one works for you guys. I hope you guys liked this episode. I hope you enjoyed these tips. I hope they help you. As always, you know what I'm going to ask. Please click that like. All right, thank you so much for the 200 subscribers. I appreciate it. It is amazing. And I hope we keep pushing forward. Let's share this and let's push to 500. Let's go to 1,000. You know, once I get to 1,000, there's a lot more options I can do on here. I can open up my own little YouTube store for merchandise, and I could do super chat, and I could do all kinds of cool stuff once we get there. So, you know, I can monetize the channel, and I can start making the channel better for you guys. Thank you guys very much. I will see you next time. Peace.
You'll have to fight for it. Prepare for